Dear students, we are learning about the representation of geographical features through contours. Today we can learn about the settlements. Settlements means they are the human dwelling places. It can be in the urban areas or in the rural areas. Settlements developed near a river in olden days because of the availability of water, fertile soil, and plain terrain that will support the transport and communication facilities. If you observe, you can understand that nowadays also people prefer to settle in arable areas where water is available and which area is having more accessibility to transport and communication systems. Settlements can be of two types, permanent or temporary. Permanent settlements are the buildings which is meant for a permanent use. Temporary settlements, they are made for temporary usage, like in the harvesting period peasants will make buildings to collect the grains, and in the logging areas in forestry people means lumbers, they will make temporary huts for their temporary living, and in the construction sites and all labor camps people will be living in the temporary houses. Settlements are not in uniform pattern. They develop in different shapes. Generally, we can divide them into three categories. First one is the linear settlements. They are found along the roads, rivers, or along the railway lines. It is for transport facilities and more accessibility to other facilities. In nucleated settlements, the buildings will be clustered around a particular facility, for example, a trading center. So, clustered or nucleated settlement shows more availability of opportunities. These type of settlements have many facilities like a police station, post office, hospital, temple, etc. And they may be along the metalled roads or along the railway lines, and those areas have a plain terrain and that lead to more economic prosperity of the region. Dispersed settlements are found in remote areas where large farmlands are found near to the forest regions, near to the deserts, and in villages we can find the presence of dispersed settlements where opportunities were very limited. Now we can have an overview of interpretation or analysis of a topographical map. Here, map number 45D7 is given as an example. This depicts a portion of Rajasthan. Its scale is 2 centimeter to 1 kilometer. That means 2 centimeter of the map representing 1 kilometer of the ground. RF means a representative fraction of the map is 1 is to 50,000. That means 1 centimeter of the map is able to show 50,000 centimeter of the Earth's surface. The location of the map is indicated by black horizontal and vertical lines. They are 24 degree 20 minute north latitude and 72 degree 25 minute east longitude. Contour interval of the given map is 20 meter. A topographical map will help us to identify physical features as well as man-made features. First, we can go through the physical features. Three physical features or physical divisions we can clearly identify from this map. The hilly region of the north, the lowland near Banas River, and the sandy regions with the sand dunes in the south. How we can identify a hilly region in the map? Yes, it is with the help of the contour lines. You can find two types of hilly regions in the given map. One is having green wash, that means it is a forested region, and another one is with a white color, that means it is a barren land. So here many peaks which are marked with the help of spot heights. That also you can identify from the given map. So the highest point, it is in the northwestern part. It is spot height 572. That means that particular peak's height is 572 meter above the sea level. So most of the hills have the height above 500 meters. For more clarity, you have to go through your textbook map also, which is given in page number 6. So if you observe, you can find the base contour line of the hilly regions in the north. It is 20 meter, and from 20 meter height only this mountain region is steeply rising, and there are many rivers, especially they are seasonal rivers originating from the mountain and running towards the Banas River. How to identify the seasonal rivers? Yes, they are the irregular black lines. As they are moving through the steep slopes of the mountain, they are cutting a number of valleys. Thus, this highland is having a dissected topography. So these streams, they have water only during the rainy season, and when they join with the Banas River, it is flowing through a lowland. If you check the contour lines close to the Banas River, you can identify the contour lines are 180 meter and 200 meters. That means they are the lowland regions. And the Banas River, it is in its middle course that we can identify through the depositional features. Here in the Banas River, you can find some white patches. It is surrounded by the blue lines. They are the river islands. So deposition only leading to the formation of river islands. So we can say Banas River is in its middle course. This region undergoing erosion due to the seasonal streams as well as by the wind. Wind erosion can be identified by the presence of depressions. Depressions are the results of wind erosion blowing away the sand by deflation. On the other hand, the depositional features of wind that also we can identify, they are the sand dunes. They are found south of the Banas River. Southeastern part of the map, you can find a ridge with a saddle and pass topography. Let us identify all these features. The drainage features that we can identify through the rivers or streams are, they are seasonal in nature. They have water only in the rainy season, and this region receives very poor rainfall that is indicated by the seasonal streams and dry riverbed. Only a narrow channel of water is there in the Banas River, which is showing a perennial nature with the help of blue lines. The arid nature of the region we can identify with the help of seasonal streams, dry riverbed, deflation regions, as well as the shifting sand dunes. Other than that, the seasonal nature of the rainfall that can be identified with the help of disappearing streams. That means the black lines which ended as dotted lines, they are seasonal disappearing streams as they disappear within the sand dunes. Other than that, the broken grounds around the streams, that also shows they receive a poor seasonal rainfall, and thus it is an arid area. Again, white patches, they are uncultivable land, that is also due to the low rainfall received by the region. The broken ground around the Balaram Nadi and Banas River are also evidences of badland topography due to gully erosion. This gully erosion is taking place because of the seasonal flooding which occurs in the rainy season. Vegetation cover is very less in this area due to low rainfall, and a typical forest we can find in the northwestern part, which is a dense mixed jungle in the Jowar Hill region. Otherwise, that area is having a wasteland which is indicated by the white patches. Anyway, people following agriculture in that area, it is indicated by the yellow wash. Even though the region is having wasteland, dense forest, then sand dunes, and gully erosion, other regions are used for the agricultural activities. Basic conditions for developing settlements are lagging here, and this area is having an arid climate and badland topography, so it is unattractive of human inhabitation. We can find some isolated nucleated settlements here like Anthroni, Moti Bhatamal, etc. Otherwise, this area is having a dispersed settlement with less population.